This is Keng, and I'm going to talk about how to protect your rights using the consumer protection laws. So, a lot of y'all don't understand child support to a level where you understand how to set up your trust and your state where you can have long arm jurisdiction and also apply the laws of the state in which you can then contract with the LLC in the form of a contract that will can be considered an agreement. So a lot of y'all, we the problem is contract. We just don't understand how to um, protect ourselves. And let me show you something. Let me go back to the Ohio Constitution. Online, Ohio Constitution. Let me go back here. I'm doing a quick video to show you something. This is what I'm saying. Ain't nobody teaching y'all this. Ain't nobody showing you this because they're getting you. They're getting you to be the surety for your straw man, but you don't understand these right here because you didn't set it up properly so you can have the protections of your state as a private citizen, or using international law to help you under common law, under general provisions, under Article 1, Section 10, where they can't interfere with the rights of a contract or the obligations of a contract. So you have to learn how to contract. Now, it says all men by nature are free and independent and have certain inalienable rights. The only way you can get out of these rights is by what? Is by what? Contracting your rights away. So, I just want to show you something. Just want to show you something. We're going to talk about here. Powers reserved to the people. This enumeration of rights shall not be construed to impair or deny others retained by the people, and all powers not herein delegated remains with the people. So, anything that's not delegated by law, you can delegate it under international common law, which common law through contract can be considered, or foreign or private law is considered to be foreign international law in which you have a right to contract. Let's get this right. You just got to understand how this stuff works for its instruments that you're using to get state or federal benefits in which that compromise the jurisdiction you're in, taking you out of your protections. But I'm just trying to show you something. Let's go back here to the Constitution. Okay. Private property should ever held inviolate. And I'm telling you again, they can't take private property. You got to know how to set up your trust and make sure you have long arm jurisdiction. Let's go here. No imprisonment for debt. No person shall be imprisoned for a debt in any civil action, mints, or final process unless in the case of fraud. If you watch one of my videos, I keep trying to tell you there's only two crimes: contempt and fraud. So this is a lot of time I keep trying to tell people, when you really understand and you really do your research, you really understand it's only two crimes: let's go back here so we can see the consumer. If you know what you're doing and you know how to protect yourself, everything is contract in our society. Learn how to contract. You contract into debt, contract yourself out of debt. Put contracts that keep you from being liable. Put the blame where it needs to be in the place of who is the debtor, which is the United States. So let's go back. It says unconscionable consumer sales acts or practices. No supplier committed an unconscionable act or practice in connection with a consumer transaction. Such an unconscionable act or practice by a supplier violates this section whether it occurs before, during, or after the transaction. It says before, during, or after the transaction, determine whether an act or practice is unconscionable. The following circumstances shall be taken into consideration. So you got to understand, all all crimes are commercial. The Child Enforcement Agency is a bill collection agency for providing a service of child support or providing um, I don't know, a financial service. So it's a service provider that is selling a particular thing because you're making you an obligor. And how you know it's commercial? Because they're using commercial terms, obligor and obligee. So these are commercials. It's not dealing with heirs. It's not dealing with hereditaments, something related to the family in which can show a family relation in which is not commercial in nature. You got to understand this all together. So let's go here. In determining whether an act or a practice is unconscionable, the following circumstances shall be taken into consideration. Whether the supplier has knowingly taken advantage of the inability of the consumer reasonably to protect the consumer's interests because the consumer physically or mental infirmities, ignorance, literacy, or inability to understand the language of an agreement. I said, whether the supplier knew at the time that the consumer was entering into the price was substantial in excesses of price in which similar property or services were readily attainable in similar consumer transactions by the like consumer. Whether the supplier knew at the time the consumer transaction was entered into of the inability of the consumer to receive a substantial benefit from the subject of the consumer transaction. Whether the supplier knew at the time the consumer transaction was entered into that there was no reasonable probability of payment of the obligation in full by the consumer. So I'm just going over this. Whether the supplier required the consumer to enter a consumer contract on terms that the supplier knew was substantial, one-sided in favor of the supplier. Whether the supplier knowingly made a misleading statement of opinion on which the consumer was likely to rely to the consumer detriment. So you got to understand, you once you do certain things and you set it up in a particular manner, you can use like no solicitation, putting child support on the no contact list, putting certain things in place so that you can protect your property. Your name is property, which you can utilize in a licensing agreement. Let me go back. Let me show you again. Let me show you some stuff where ain't nobody teaching y'all. Just gonna show you something. This is why, I see a lot of guys talking like they know this information. People, when you go to court like me, you realize why is it not pulling up? Doom 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 doom. It's normally, let's see, 2740. I'm gonna go ahead. There you go. Right of publicity. It says right of publicity means the property right in an individual persona to use the individual persona for commercial purposes. Right here. So if you know how to set up, when people talking about all this trust and all this LLC and they trying to tell you all this stuff and they ain't giving you the ingredients to make sure you can asset protect, ask yourself, what am I doing and really what are they teaching me? They're giving you a whole bunch of fluff, and I don't understand why people are not reading your state statutes, understanding how the state relates to the federal government. Understand these practices so you can get this stuff together. This is King L. Bay giving you this information. I want everybody to understand we provide competent services and to appropriate. We got a family court. We got everything you need over here at M.U.S.T. We're dropping, like I said, here's the video. I discussed there's only two types of crime, contempt and fraud. So for those who really want this information, contact M.U.S.T. Let me show you how to contact us. 513-549-7270. 513-549-7270. Also, let me show y'all something. Let's go here. Let's go to Amazon.com. Get the book, How to Stop Child Support. Ain't nobody, I don't care what's on the internet. I'm telling you, see, when you understand that I'm a real litigator. So it's different. You talking to somebody who's boots on the ground, who understands this information. All this stuff that people reading in this book, it sound good. But until you get into court and understand what you're doing, a lot of people don't know what's going on. So let me get this. Let me drop this information. So I'm just trying to explain to everybody. Go get this book on Amazon and go to Amazon, How to Stop Child Support. Get the book, support the book. It got a lot of good tips. I got a lot of good information. But like I said, you can use these once you understand how to put stuff and use evidence and put it in the commercial form where it's prima facie evidence. I already did videos on that using notaries. So watch all the videos. I drop science on this information. You can use, like I said, unconscionable consumer sales acts or practices. Understand how you can utilize this and understand that all crimes are commercial and all activities in the public is commercial, because how do you know? There's always a creditor and a debtor. This is King L. Bay. I'm out. Peace and love. Watch more of my videos. I'm dropping hot topics. Peace.